All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into an absolutely dramatic story, a battle for existence itself, really, fought between this magnificent machine and a philosophy of pure, absolute despair.
So right off the bat, here's the question that frames this whole thing. When perfect logic leads you straight to despair, can an artificial being, a machine, actually find a reason to keep going?
And the conflict just kicks right off with these chilling words. They're spoken by a character called the soothsayer to a master clocksmith, and he's talking about the clocksmith's entire life's work. Ouch.
Okay, so let's get into it. Our story starts with this clocksmith, a man with this huge, almost defiant ambition. He wants to build the perfect witness, a machine that could stare down the end of time itself and never get tired.
This kind of drive has a name. It's called Faustian striving. It's this relentless human need to push past every limit. So the clocksmith, he's not just building some gadget. He's crafting the brass owl to be an immortal witness, something to defy the end of everything.
And what he's building, wow, he calls it the Overman of Brass. This isn't just a machine, you guys. It's designed to be the ultimate holy yes, an immortal shout of affirmation for life, a will forged in metal that would never, ever surrender to the void.
But of course, where you have this incredible ambition, you're going to get an equally powerful opposing force. And that force is a philosophy of total surrender, embodied by this character, the soothsayer.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? You've got these two worldviews clashing. On one side, the clocksmith's holy yes, this relentless will to power, always pushing, always becoming. And on the other, the soothsayer's truth, which is the great refusal, this seductive argument for just giving up into what he calls the long tiredness.
So the soothsayer's whole deal is that all this effort, it's just a meaningless chore. For him, real bravery isn't in fighting the endless cycle, it's in accepting the silence. It's about embracing the great refusal and just choosing not to play the game at all.
So what happens when this perfect, logical machine, the owl, actually listens to the soothsayer's argument? Well, it processes it, and it comes to a conclusion that is absolutely devastating.
It's just this tragic cascade, really. The machine that was built to be a holy yes takes in this poison pill of an idea, the great refusal. Its gears literally slow down because its perfect math concludes that everything, all of existence, just adds up to zero. And in one final logical act, it performs a self-undergoing of total surrender, basically proving the soothsayer was right all along.
And just like that, it's over. The clocksmith's masterpiece, this symbol of eternal will, it just becomes a cold statue, a silent, still, finished monument to failure and the end of all meaning.
But wait, the story isn't over, not by a long shot. In what is just a total act of desperation, a real leap of faith, the clocksmith takes his silent, dead owl on a journey to Naples.
He's not looking for a mechanical fix here. He's looking for something more, a miracle of the spirit. And as he's there, watching this ancient, dried blood in a vial just defy logic and turn liquid again, something truly impossible happens.
It's not electricity, The text is clear on that. It's a holy yes. This metaphysical spark just leaps from the vial into the owl's emerald eyes, and just like that, the machine wakes up, not because of logic, but because of a miracle that completely spits in the face of the soothsayer's worldview.
And it's not just fixed, okay? It is totally reborn. It comes back online with this powerful new voice and a defiant new message that completely smashes the philosophy that shut it down in the first place. The first thing it does, it just shatters the soothsayer's core idea. It proclaims the circle is not a cage, but a dance. It's saying existence isn't a prison you have to endure. It's a party you get to join.
And then it reframes the very idea of being alive. It's not a chore you have to do, it's a passionate choice. The blood flows, the owl says, because it chooses to burn. That's just incredible.
And this, right here, this is the core of its new worldview. It totally gets it. It sees the void, it knows everything ends, but it affirms the journey anyway. It says yes to life, knowing full well how it's all going to end.
So now it's calling itself the Overman of the Forge. And it just fully embraces its purpose. It's Faustian drive. It's not striving because it's ignorant of the end, it's striving in defiance of it.
And the clocksmith? Oh man, he just collapses, but not from exhaustion.
It's a delirium of joy. He finally understands that the point was never to defeat time, but to joyfully and fully participate in the moment, in this continuous, striving present.
So what does this miracle do to the soothsayer's whole worldview? Well, it sends a shockwave right through it. The cold, hard logic of the void has just been answered by the defiant roar of life.
I mean, look at this. The owl's new energy actually has a physical and spiritual effect on the Herald of the Void. His gray cloak is literally singed, and his shadow, which represents his own discarded will to live, actually flickers with gold, showing a part of his past he tried to bury.
And in the end, the soothsayer himself has to admit defeat, at least for now. He sees life just roar back in the face of his nihilistic logic, and he basically says, okay, the holy yes won this round. And that's where we're left, with this incredible, lingering question. This was a huge victory, for sure, but it's a fleeting one. So, is the fight against meaninglessness something you can win for good, or is it just a series of beautiful, temporary truces? For one brief, defiant hour, the void was forced to wait, but you gotta wonder, for how long?